Right guys, I've tried to record this a few times. Let's see how this one goes. The hands, Neanderthals. Elohim made man. Let us make man in our image. Then the Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh took the man he had made, placed him in a garden, caused the man deep sleep, and took the rib and made Eve. Eve went to the tree because of the serpent and took on the spirit of the son of perdition. Cain was red and blue, hand and rib, bird and serpent, possessed with the spirit of Baal. That is the meaning of the Horus, the Quetzalcoatl, and the Garuda. While the Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh took the man and placed him in the garden, these guys were channeling him, who had all the prophecy and wanted to play God. Was telling them about his version of the Messiah, the King of the world who shall come. And he did. And what they were doing while Adam was in the garden is building this. The Neanderthals are the builders of the tepe, guys. At the time of the garden. With knowledge but no understanding of prophecy. Of the Messiah and the King. Who is not the Queen. So we notice at Gobekli Tepe there's two styles of structure. Now these megalithic T-shaped pillars are what the hands made. The Neanderthals built these at the time of the garden. And then it was wiped out in the flood. And because this is the original, or the entire Sanliurfa complex, is the original place of the hand, where they did the paganism to usher in the first anti-Messiah. The Lord flooded it. And as some of you may already understand the ways and how he works, is once he'd destroyed it, he planted Noah there on the mountainous regions of Ararat to start again. And his descendants, Ham and his sons, excavated this. And they wanted to bring about the third coming of the Horus after the flood. And they're the ones who built these primitive style walls between. Because this was done at the time of the garden by the Neanderthals, and this was excavated, and then these walls built by, I suppose, the sons of Cain. Because Nimrod was the third Antichrist. Then there was one in the middle. Tubal Khan. Two balls, second ball in a cane. Named by his father Lamech, Hukal Khan, Tubal Khan. Because ancestry is everything to them. Because Lamech slew Cain, he called his son Tubal Khan. Now Cain was in the beginning the wanderer, the nomad, and I believe he started in Nod, he's the Chinaman, and I believe that Adam and Eve was in some sort of place like Sri Lanka, the Philippines, and the whole world was one continent, and Abel lived in Egypt, what we call Egypt. And Cain went and slew Abel and took his land, and there he built Karnak, a city for his son, Enoch. Karnak, Egypt. He then continued his travelling to what we call the Americas, and there he started to build all the stuff and spread his seed, and Lamech came along, the king of the Olmecs. Now of course the sons of God saw the daughters of men were fair and bore children to them, and they became the Nephilim. The Benai Elohim, the sons of God, parented these hybrid Nephilim. These blocks, this style, however it's done, this is their handiwork. The sons of Cain, hybrids, mating, intermingling with the daughters of men. Cain had all this know-how. He was possessed by Baal. And as the hybrids spread, so did their building. So, we have this built at the time, the first stone circle, and this is why after, like in the last 2,000, 3,000 years, they've been building stone circles out of the remnants of the megalithic blocks and stuff that they can find, like Stonehenge, to remember this. Built by the hands. They were probably doing all sorts of rituals and sacrifices and sex magic. And he was telling them that this would bring their king, when really it was all prophesied in the beginning. So we have the T-pillars and all the tepes. And then we have this structure, this type of building structure. And then the flood, then the excavation by Ham, and these walls, and the mountain of Nimrod, and everything else. Okay, you following, guys? I suppose the Nephilim would have been handy guys to have around until they started going berserk and getting out of hand. And that's when the false light started slaying the darkness, masquerading as saviours, and in the process taking the Kundalini of the giants, because they are the Legion. This is the meaning of George and the Dragon. As a set animal, slaying Apep. It is the anti-messiah under the guidance of the dragon, slaying the darkness to pose as the light, but is the false light. As in the days of Noah, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Which brings us round to this. Spaceships and helicopters. And the Assyrian. It's been vandalised, guys, because it used to look like this. I don't know if you can make this out. We have the hand and the rib. The hand holding the rib. In the eye, the pineal. Is the bowman. He's the Horus. The half, because it's half and half blood. And 8. This says 8. 8 times. The 8th is one of 7. See it? The hand holding the rib, the eye, the hand, The bow, you can just make out the bow. The half, we've added a notch here. There's now 9. And we're not Horus anymore. We're what they say is a leek, but it's really a rib. Of the hand and rib. The X marks the spot the ball, This is a mark. The half blood, half and half, hand and rib, half the marked is the Horus. This guy's Cain. The Edfu, we can see right beside Horus. Don't know if you can make this out, guys. Hand and rib. In Edfu, we can see the eye of Horus, the pineal, the hand and rib, the X marks the spot, the half blood, and we see the T-pillar and a star, because this is a beheaded man, a stick man, legion, or the gods, whichever, interchangeable. This is a spirit. This is Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent. Notice the fish. And then here, look. You see him. Squatterman bird is Osiris, who is the Horus, because he's Cain and Horus is a title. The winged disc is the feathered serpent, who is the hand and rib. You can see the mark, and the half will be just here, obscured out of view. There's the Scorpion King and the Ploughman. A tiller of the ground. The king over the Scorpion men. He's a bad one. In this relief, I believe is from Tehuti who can. Tehuti who can, the hurricane. Toph who can, the Hootie who can. Tot who can. The blue meanie. Notice the spotted garment. He is the Scorpion King. This is Giraffe culture. It's got the arms up, look. It's the Scorpion King. It's all the same. This is one story. And read your Bible. Some Popol Vuh, guys. We see him, and we see the Ouroboros type serpent, more or less the same shape as the Hashtepsut and Dionysos and Hanuman Ouroboroses. And over here we see the scorpion, because he's a Scorpion King. And we see the tree with the face. We see the face in the tree. We find this tree in Egypt, and we can see this face. I'm going to say that this is a one-eyed with an arrow pyramid, winking as a one-eyed vampiric fangs. This face. They certainly do hide the faces like I've just shown you, before anyone says that it's not a winking vampiric face, because it's all Egypt as it is in the Orient. Do you see? So that's the tepe, guys. The tepe before the Zep tepe. May Yeshua bless us all.